If it's one thing I love, it's drama. And not just any drama today. We're going to talk about Diablo 4 developer drama. A little bit of saltine on the actual spice, because PoE 2's launch was pretty much set for December 6th, and the stream that it showed the other day was absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't seen my recap of it, check it out here in the link down below. The thing is, though, not everybody was happy about what PoE 2 is actually doing. You'd be surprised. People were actually upset, perturbed, dare I say, salty about the entire thing, even though the fan base of ARPG enjoyers has been reveling in the actual content that is going to be showing. PoE 2 has shown exactly what Diablo 4 has been missing, and why every single time I've criticized D4, the defenders have shown up out of the woodwork to say, well, it's for casuals. I don't want to grind forever when I play. I just have an hour or two to play here and there. D4 is perfectly fine. Even our old buddy Jez Corden had something to say about physics. Physics is his counterpoint to Path of Exile, when in reality the counterpoint to D4 is there's no content. But let's see what actually happened, shall we? Because our boy Rod Ferguson, the man who actually killed Gears of War, decided to weigh in on Diablo and Path of Exile. This is going to be a tweet for the ages, let me tell you. Now, I have never seen anyone more salty than this, and by George, the salt, it flows. Let's go ahead and see what Rod Ferguson had to say. Feels like the genre of quote-unquote ARPG is starting to mean a lot of different things. No, it doesn't, Rob. No, it doesn't, but let's continue. Much like Souls-like and roguelike. No, we're going to stop. We're going to stop right there, because literally in one of your own campfires, you guys were saying that an ARPG is similar to Hollow Knight. I kid you not. That was real. You literally said, well, not you. Your developers actually said that directly. No, I'm not kidding. Hollow Knight as an ARPG, but let's continue on this, shall we? I wonder if we could normalize Diablo-like for ARPGs that follow the Diablo formula. Ah, yes. I wonder if we could just totally control an entire genre of game to make them say Diablo instead of Path of Exile. Rod, this has been one of the most copium-induced filled tweets I've ever seen. Instead of just saying, wow, PoE 2 and Grinding Your Games is doing something really amazing, I wonder what we could learn from them to make Diablo 4 better. No, why don't we just control an entire genre instead? Make it called Diablo-like. Even Diablo-like wouldn't make sense, because it's an action role-playing game on its original design. What are you going to copyright? An isometric camera perspective and stat points? You fucking clown. This is why I knew from the moment you were signed onto this entire project, it was going to go downhill. Ever since Diablo 3, I knew the game and the series is going downhill. D4 was going to be a return to form. Hopefully, probably. The artwork looked good. The music was pretty good. But then when you showed up with literally zero content, a completely neutered skill tree, the inability to even actually have fun while playing the game. Now you're talking about, I wonder if we could call things Diablo-like. That would be so cool, you guys, to think about us. Nobody cares about you. Literally nobody cares about you. You had the opportunity, you had the vision for people to care about you, but you squandered it. Let me show you why. Here is the Google Trends over the past 5 years. As you can see, right around May in 2023, man, everybody's looking for Diablo 4. Oh, June! Well, look at that, June 2023. Everybody wants a piece of good old Diablo. But then all of a sudden, July, August, September, October, November. Oh, expansion came out in December, January. Nobody gives a shit. And this is compared to fucking Path of Exile. The fact you cannot sit here and say to yourself, we had the opportunity for everyone to jump on this train, to really show exactly what Diablo 4 was going to be, to really go out there and push for content, decide what was going to go on, push out the actual ARPG that started the entire genre. You dropped the ball more than anybody I've ever seen. It was so bad you had to redo all of the itemization in the game. I don't think you played your own game. I don't think you understand your own game, Rod. And you want to come out here and be this salty that somebody else, a couple of dudes in New Zealand sitting there putting other shrimp on the Barbie, that's an old Ace Ventura joke, by the way, are sitting here doing the job better than you ever could. 150 people in a small office are literally putting an entire team of Blizzard to shame. And I'm angry. Not angry because of the fact that Rod Ferguson tweeted what he said. No. I'm angry because of the fact that every single time Blizzard has come out and said, we're going to do this thing, I think to myself back when I was 12 or 13 going, boy, wouldn't it be awesome for Blizzard to make a comeback once finally? And what does Blizzard do? They drop the fucking ball every time, every single time. There is no way a franchise like this, like Blizzard, can drop the ball. It is statistically impossible for you guys to actually be this bad consistently. Yet here you are over and over again. I don't understand how you constantly do it. But the fact that you set yourself up like this, Rod, consistently to get made fun of, and then you get all pissy-wissy about it, is really the funniest part about it all. Let's show some other tweets and replies, shall we? So you know what? Let's not just see what actually happened of what I have to think. Let's take a look and see what the tweet replies were. Oh, also, really love the ratio you're getting there, Rod. Way to represent a AAA company and development studio, not looking at it and saying, oh, we could do better. No, let's go ahead and call it Diablo-like. How do you normalize Diablo-like if no one likes Diablo 4? I couldn't have said it better myself. I literally couldn't have said it better myself. Does it include microtransactions? Is the only way to get cool armor? If so, no. Jez, when are you going to come to the actual side that probably has content for an ARPG? Huh? When are you going to realize, Jez, that maybe for once you can stop playing an ARPG that doesn't have content and one that gives you actual content to play? Imagine running pit level 200s and doing nothing with it. Couldn't be me. Hog, my boy, my good old southern dog right there, man. Imagine the game director of a major AAA company posting that he's jealous another game did a better release. Man, this is even Hog got you, bro. Even Hog got you. And a good old Darth, look, he's a really nice guy. Can't set him up like that, my man. No, you cannot. Look, I love Try. He's the nicest guy you're ever going to find in the PoE community. Period. Hands down. Literally the sweetest dude. Even he had to get in on this. Thank you for making video content. Take coming soon, my man. When you have literally the guy who is the poster child of what every company wants him to have representing their game, doesn't say a single bad word ever in his entire life. And this is the dude going, thanks, bro. You really fucked up on this one. Subtract him. Look, my gray-haired brother right here. So what genre would you Diablo 4 Immortal since they don't follow the formula of it being a good game? I'm going to read that again because I stroked out reading it the first time. So what genre would you Diablo 4/Immortal since you don't follow the formula of being a good game? A Diablo-like is literally an ARPG that tries to be Path of Exile but fails in doing it in every single capacity. That's what a Diablo-like is. A Diablo-like is a game that tries to be an ARPG but then really shows itself that is more of a mobile game, trying to sit there and get more money out of you via battle passes, microtransactions, everything else, while also making you pay $70 for an expansion, $70 for the physical fucking game, and then not even putting the main enemy in the game called Diablo! That's what a Diablo-like is. A Diablo-like is an actual disappointment. That's what a Diablo-like actually is. Insane. Alcohol. God, I love that little South African man. This is extremely embarrassing, LOL. Brock, PoE-like. You know what? You gotta love it. Well, since we wouldn't have seen Diablo for like 20 years, what is your idea of Diablo-like since Diablo-like? QDev saying, well, since we have not seen Diablo-like for 20 years, what is your idea of Diablo-like since last Diablo-like game is Diablo 2? Literally more than anything that I've ever seen. Diablo has not been Diablo since Diablo 2. That's the problem. PoE was in fact the true Diablo 3, and the fact that people cannot see that for some strange reason and are buying these games and these things. And also, I gotta say, Blizzard, thanks for the game key for D4, by the way. Love you guys for that one, even though I'm roasting you guys nonstop. The thing is, though, it should not be this way. Rod Ferguson has tried everything he possibly can to sit there and shit talk PoE rather than looking at why people like PoE, why PoE has insane numbers consistently every 3 months, why everybody talks about that game, why everybody wants to get involved in that game, why the views of that game are skyrocketing, and Diablo 4, nobody likes. nobody cares about. Gets lambasted every time they do a campfire. Gets shit on every time they try to do something different because they're not doing what the people in the community actually want. ARPG enjoyers want depth and complexity, and they are literally doing nothing to solve that problem. They are simplifying everything they possibly can, providing zero content at endgame. It's been, what, 6 seasons now? You're getting embarrassed by your own community. Even Riker is the biggest ARPG reveal ever. I wonder what it is. I wonder what it's gonna be. This is absolutely embarrassing. What Blizzard should do, what Rod Ferguson should do, is stop trying to make this a thing. This is like, what's that movie, Mean Girls, when they're like, fetch? Fetch isn't a thing, bro. Diablo 4 isn't a thing. Diablo-like is not a thing. There's a better chance of it being PoE-like than Diablo-like. Just call it an ARPG. What you're trying to do, Rod, is put the mindshare of people into talking about Diablo 4 when nobody wants to talk about Diablo 4. Let's be honest about all of this, okay? This is more embarrassing and cringe than even this entire video. Straight up. I'm just going to be real with you, bro. What you should do is look at what GGG does with, what, 1/100th of the staff that you have, and then say, how do they do it? How are they getting this done? What are they doing where they're having people be this devoted to this game for 10 years plus, where they're getting this excited, where we're losing our core player base to PoE2? Even Rob is leaving. Even Rob and Rax are leaving. Oh, bro, listen. Listen, stop tweeting, start working. Look at what the feedback of what you're getting. Look at what the kind of game you want to make. The thing is, though, you don't know what the fuck you're doing because, again, you're the same guy who ruined the Gears of War franchise. Let it be known, I've dealt with this con for a very long time, and I don't care if I get blocked. I got to say how I'm going to say it. Oh, God. Okay, look. This needs to stop. Developers need to stop being children and stop trying to have mindshare of a video game, of a community that doesn't want that game to be the mindshare. Okay? Rod had a very clear and easy opportunity to go through and not only look like a really good guy, but also say to himself and his team, what are they doing that we're not doing? How do we get what they get? Have we even booted up Path of Exile 1 to see what our competition is like and how we can make our game better than that? They haven't done anything like that at all. All they've done is, what more microtransactions can we add into the store, and how can we charge people more money for those microtransactions? That's what they've done. That's what you guys have done. I get so angry. You released a broken game. You then released a patch to fix the items in the broken game. Then when you release the expansion, it's a boring expansion that nobody cares about, with a class nobody cares about, with the inability to actually have good, decent endgame content. A year later, an expansion later, and you still don't have the end game that PoE had upon its actual release. You're not going to have the end game PoE 2 has upon its early access. Stop tweeting, Rod. Start getting to work, and maybe people will talk about Diablo 4 more than you trying to actually have a Diablo-like as the moniker of an entire genre, when we all know the genre is called action role-playing game. You clown. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I had to pop off in this video a little bit about that. It got under my skin that somebody that pretty much ruined the franchise that I really cared about, which is Gears of War, goes through and goes into another franchise that I really care about, which is Diablo, and then ruins that too. So, hey, more developer salt copium about the ARPG genre. I know I'm not as nice as Try. Sorry, bro. I had to be the bad guy in all of this. But the thing is, though, it had to be said. Rod has consistently done everything he possibly can to ruin a franchise, casualize it to the nth degree, and then literally provide no content for those casual players to even enjoy the game that they spent all that money on in the first place. What an absolute disaster. And you know what? If you're one of the Diablo 4 refugees, I am making brand new guide content for PoE 1 and PoE 2 on this channel. So I tell you what, come on down to the PoE land, baby. Chris Wilson is a god. He's an awesome god. No, I'm kidding. Hey, look, may your RNG be great, and hope you get a mage load, baby. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time.